let your faith take you through. Don't think about where you came from, your background. It's not where you start, it's where you end. Let prayer life be you. Believe in who you are, believe in yourself, and your faith, and every other thing will get you through. I came from one point to growing up in a little village where your parents didn't have enough, but you wanted to make them proud still. I came from that era where if you didn't take something up other than going to school, you didn't have a passion for something else, you would have been nowhere, because the options weren't that much. Your parents didn't have that much to push you as far as you wanted to go. My mental strength came from the struggles I've had trying to make a team, the fight I had to fight, all the fight I had to fight. I had battles to win, I had points to prove. My passion for sport was always there. Coming from a family that loved sport, and each and every one of us, my cousins and I, we all played different level of sports. So I always knew that I needed to get there. I needed to do something great in sports. So that was my passion.
Gwen is dedicated, committed athlete. I have never had an athlete with that work ethic that she has. She wants to succeed. She, moves everything to make sure she gets in her training. And unfortunately, you know what happened in Poland. But she is committed to her shot. She has a passion for it. The only way I could describe it.
After that, I should say, devastating day playing, when I was batting and got struck in my face with a ball, and it was bad, but at the time I didn't know how bad it was until I got up next morning and my mother saw my face and she said, "Did you look at your face?" And I was like, "No." And she said, "Go in the mirror." And then I saw bloodshot eyes, blood through my cheeks, blood through my forehead. It was devastating, and it was something that couldn't leave my mind. For 2 years I was off because I couldn't take a feel knowing or expecting or thinking that I'll be hit again. So I took a while to actually get back on the field with a lot of encouragement. But during that time I just ended up doing something else. My love for sport, my passion for sport was so much. So I ended up going back to playing basketball and doing other things. I started throwing javelin and stuff like that, just to keep myself fit and in sport, but I just couldn't take the feeling again. After 2 years of cricket, my teammates were really, really adamant that I come back into the sport. And by then I actually said to myself, you know what, I would take a chance and I would start playing again. So I went back and I started training and realized the love for the game, the love for the sport was still there. And it's just fear that kept me away. And I built with prayer also, I built myself again and I broke that fear and went back on the field. That brought me to the point where I knew I had something to prove in cricket. So my fingers were crossed, hoping to be called again for a national trial. Because by then I said, you know what, I'm going to put in so much work into my training that they would see me and they would have to select me on their team. And that was my drive. My drive was getting there. My drive was proving who Gwendolyn Smith was. I was selected in 1994 for the first time. After being just a reserve for years upon years, I was just a reserve. I even had the name of being the longest serving reserve on the team. But I said to them, I said, sooner or later, when I get on this team, I'm going to be a fixture and it will take a while to get me off. And that's what I did. I transitioned into track and field at the time when I got injured. I started playing basketball and doing track and field, javelin and shot put relay. So that transition was there. So I continued. Even though I played cricket, I would play cricket on one day or on the weekend, and then I would still do field events in between. So I was still on the two sides of the fence in the sport, in track and field and playing cricket. So I just kept myself going and I played on. After having the national record for a while in the women's javelin, I was coming of age where there was the Masters, 30 plus, and I was always invited to try it, and I did try. In 2008, I was asked to come to trials for the Masters, and I went into the stadium and I did what I have to do. I threw the javelin, I threw the shot, I qualified, and I went to my first regional game for Masters in Florida in 2008. My drive was always to be at the top, one of the best. And that is what drove me into building faith, building strength, building me as an individual. Now I can face any challenge and realize without God I'm nothing. So my challenge is always, my battles are always the battles that make me stronger, make me grow more in my faith, make me grow more in my beliefs. So that has built me as an individual. My background from my God is what really kept me going.